we talk about the future of payments, and here I'm talking about a direct debit product that is 50 odd years old. Now, there's some debate about whether direct debit was released in 1968, 69 or 71. If you're a purist, it's 71. If you want to make it older, then it sounds like it was 68. But that I brought direct debit to the table today for two things. One, because I still think there's life in the old dog yet. And secondly, it has a lot to teach us as we think about the future of payments and what people are looking for. So direct debit is absolutely embedded into the way we work, the way corporates work, the way billers work, but the way we pay for the goods and services we consume. 92% of bill payers use direct debit for a regular payment or more. We have a number in our accounts. I spoke to some of my ex-colleagues, some of my friends over at Pay.uk, and they've shared with me three things from a piece of research they've done. This isn't public until today. They've allowed me to share this with you today, and they're going to be using it going forward. But they did some research around people who make regular payments. And for me, both in terms of direct debit and the future of payments, it told me some things. It probably told me the thing I knew, but that 74% said they want to automate their payments rather than making payments and dealing with things individually. You know, we're all time poor, whatever we're doing. And as we think about whether it's direct debit and our use of direct debit, particularly other payment types going forward, it's how we automate our payments, how we make it easy for the people to make the payments, that they spend less time panicking, worrying and playing around with their bank account, that we make their life a better place. And by doing that, we make people sticky. But when you spoke to the people, when Pay.uk spoke to these people around words they associate with direct debit, they talked about easy to use and convenience and reliability. They are, to some extent, motherhood and apple pie. But if you're involved in payments and you're involved in new generation of payments, how well do your propositions stack against some of those criteria? Because almost every adult in the land is using direct debit, and they associate that product with those sort of attributes. The interesting thing, as I said about the MasterCard work, is that about the security in Pay.uk survey, 66% said direct debit is secure, and yet you let people come into your bank account as often as they want and take the money out with a guarantee that sits behind it. We need to think through this security thing, because folk are only happy until it goes wrong. The scores fared well in terms of other payment types, and that's sort of an aside for Pay.uk. But from my point of view, we've got a situation with direct debit where I'll talk about the future of direct debit in a moment, but it has a lot to tell us about how we make digital payments successful in the future.